this is Animat, and welcome back to the Muppet Vlog. Now this time we are entering upon the 20th episode of the third season of The Muppet Show, which features the one, the only, Sylvester Stallone. Now it is not every day that you enter upon The Muppet Show and you would stumble upon a special guest star whose name is still very well known and still relevant to this day. And Sylvester Stallone is absolutely no exception here. We all know the guy as the actor and writer of the Rocky series, playing as the one and only Rocky Balboa, a living legend. In fact, for the first movie of Rocky, he is actually one of the 3 people in this world, along with Orson Welles and Charlie Chaplin, to be the only people ever to be nominated simultaneously for Best Actor and Best Writing. But on top of that, he has done many other feature films as well. We also know him in the Rambo movies and also in the Expendable movies. But even to this day, we all recognize him as Rocky, and he's making a great big comeback with that role since he actually did the Golden Globe award-winning and also Oscar-nominated role as Rocky in the Creed movies. And going into the episode, considering that we still have this really big name like Sylvester Stallone, you do expect a lot of great things to come out of this episode. And luckily, it does deliver, even to this day. I mean, like, no matter when you're gonna watch it, with a big name like Sylvester Stallone, it will absolutely deliver to give you such a fun episode, not just because it has Sly in it, but just a great Muppet episode in general. So basically the backstory that we have here is actually about Sly, where Scooter actually brings in a bunch of groupies for a little bit of a get-rich-quick scheme in a way. And he wanted to bring in these groupies just to get like a behind-the-scenes peek to be with Sly for a moment. And just the ways that you see Scooter and the groupies trying to outsmart Kermit so that they could stay and meet up with Sly and all that kind of stuff. It's just highly amusing. It's just really a lot of fun. And even with Sylvester Stallone throughout the whole thing, like he's literally shown as such a great sport. You just see the guy, he's completely cool with everything that's been going on. Like, no matter what, whenever he appears, like, you could tell that you could just have fun, whether it be with Scooter and the groupies, or even with Link Hogthrob. It's just highly amusing. The dude knows how to deliver, even in terms of comedy, even just interacting with the Muppets. It's just a lot of fun, and you can tell how a lot of the Muppets just, they build up more about his physique, that he is a massive bodybuilder. I mean, keep in mind, considering that this episode was actually released in 1979, this was during the height of Sylvester Stallone's popularity, when he was really huge, just fresh off of Rocky, and Rocky 2 was just around the corner. So of course, they want to go and sell a little bit onto that portion, that this is the guy who came from Rocky. And even on his musical numbers and every time that he would appear on stage, there are a lot of times that you could see that he is just having fun with it. The first bit was actually like really great and a lot of fun. He was actually singing "Let's Call the Whole Thing Off" with an entire theme of Gladiator, where he's like this really menacing, really strong gladiator, and like he's fighting off this giant lion who's absolutely terrified of Sylvester Stallone. And then they would just end off singing the song "Let's Call the Whole Thing Off," and it works out very well. Like, you wouldn't expect, like with a show like The Muppet Show, that Sylvester Stallone is kind of like in a different field, but no, like, he blends in perfectly. He knows exactly what to do in this situation. It's a lot of fun. Other times that he would also appear, it would actually be at the end, where he has this, like, kind of this sad story, and it has this entire theme of turn of the century, where they would all sing "Bird in a Gilded Cage" down at the bar, and all the other Muppets just around him, just like actually dressed up in that turn of the century vaudevillian clothing, just singing "Bird in a Gilded Cage," just feeling so sad for this girl that they are singing to. It's actually, you know, it's still a lot of fun to see. Even though it is like a really sad song, it's still highly enjoyable. It's still great, it's still funny, and it's a lot of fun. And even if Sylvester Stallone doesn't make an appearance in that particular part of the episode, it's still entertaining and hilarious to watch regardless. And there's actually a lot of them. There's a huge variety in this episode. It actually starts off with the Hawaiian War Chant with this entire Hawaiian theme, and they sprinkle in a little bit of humor that they add this gorilla just throwing coconuts everywhere that he sees, and his prime target was Animal in the drums. And then there was another one where you got Professor Albert Flan and Otto the automatic entertainer, where they want to make this robot this comedian, but then like he quickly short-circuited. And funny enough, I was about to expect that somehow like he would short-circuit because Fozzie Bear would rig the whole thing because he would be too afraid if Otto would be Fozzie's replacement. But there is actually something later on that Fozzie would actually remain. He would have his own number where he would want to do this magician act to cut a lady, like, to, you know, the old saw a lady in half in a box sort of thing. And they wanted to find a lady for Fozzie because he couldn't find a woman willing to do that. And they actually brought in Otto dressed up as a girl. And what ended up happening there, it's just honestly really hilarious. And you can see a bit of the improvisation that they have where Fozzie is just working with this robot. It's like, this is a lady? Are you kidding? I'm gonna go saw a thing in half. And it's absolutely hilarious, and I was just having so much fun with it. So, and also there are a few other sketches as well. There is, of course, the Veterinarian's Hospital, and then there's actually this bonus little clip where, like, you got an orchestra playing William Tell Overture, and you got Beauregard on the side where he was about to go on stage, but Sam intervenes. He didn't expect him to be a part of the show. But yeah, like, Beauregard actually does play the role of, like, in William Tell, where he has to be the subject with the apple on top of his head, like, ready with the arrow and stuff like that. So I would say that overall, this is definitely a fun episode. At least for this season, this is one of the most entertaining and a lot of fun to watch. It's just absolutely grand. All the sketches are highly enjoyable. Sylvester Stallone is just really great in all this. Definitely prominently featured him in this episode very well. The story around him is equally as fun to watch. And I would say that this is definitely an episode you guys gotta check out. And this is actually one of those episodes that even a beginner can actually check this out, and you know, they can actually get into the Muppet Show just to get a clearer idea. I mean, this is actually a pretty good starting point, considering that we got a special guest star that everybody recognizes, Sylvester Stallone, so it's a good starting point to get a better idea to know what is going on. So overall, the entire episode works, it's a lot of fun, and I highly enjoyed it, and I had a blast watching it. So anyways, that is pretty much it for this episode of the Muppet Vlog, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and oh boy, it's going to be tough to beat Sylvester Stallone, but let's see what the next special guest star can bring in to really pack a punch as much as him. I apologize for that pun, I swear it's not intended. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see you later, dudes!